AI is like starting to feel like it's like high school, the high school cafeteria. Imagine walking in the cafeteria and looking across the room at the popular table. Everyone's sitting there. They appear to be confident, connected. And on the inside, you kind of wonder, like, did they get it all figured out? Like, are they in on something that you're not? They have the newest things, the shiniest objects. They seem to understand a world that hasn't really made sense to you yet. And from where you're sitting, everything at that table, it looks perfect, but it's not. Up close, you discover that the image and the reality, they're not quite the same. There's still confusion. There's still insecurity. There's still posturing and peacocking, and a surprising amount of energy goes into making sure that everyone in the outside group continues believing that everyone on the inside is effortless. Everything is effortless. That's where we're at with AI. My name is Scott Benham. I am the founder of Entrepreneur Alliance, and we are strategic operators that help visionary founders grow and scale their businesses. From the outside in, it looks amazingly powerful. It looks efficient and advanced. Parts of it absolutely are. But the polished output that you see from across the cafeteria, the YouTube shorts, and the Instagram reels, it's not the entire story. Here's what AI does genuinely well. Number one, can it check your email, summarize the important messages, and create a task list and draft responses? Yes, absolutely it can. Can it monitor 5, 6, or 7 Facebook groups, compare the posts against the established rules of the group, identify particular dissenters or problematic language, and then recommend moderation actions? Yeah, absolutely, it can do that. Can it help write content, organize research, or analyze information? Can it build project plans and accelerate dozens of other business tasks? Yes, also yes. But listen carefully to the language I'm using. It can perform tasks. It can assist workflows. It can accelerate decisions. It's not the same as intelligently running a business from beginning to end. Because when you look deeper, the inside out reality is you, is me. Let's use email as an example. From the outside in, someone might say, well, my AI handles my email. Okay, that sounds completely autonomous. But let's look at it from the inside. AI categorizes it, summarizes it, AI drafts a response. Then someone has to determine whether that email was actually categorized correctly. Someone has to decide whether the summary missed an important detail. Okay? Someone has to check whether the response is accurate, appropriate, and consistent with the relationship of the person who sent the email. What happens when it's an angry customer, or it's a legal question, or it's an unusual refund request from a member of your community? Maybe it's a negotiation involving information that AI doesn't have. Who manages that expectation? Who makes the judgment call? Who is accountable for the wrong response if it gets sent? Because that person, chances are, is you, still running the business. The inside out reality includes defining the rules, organizing the information, connecting the systems, managing those exceptions, correcting mistakes, right? Verifying the outputs, deciding whether these outputs should even be acted upon. A polished demonstration of those steps, hear me out, is not an autonomous business. Let me give a quick example of a reality check that I recently had at a mastermind. Now, I spend time in mastermind rooms and mastermind groups to surround myself with people who are worlds smarter than I am, exceptionally smart and experienced founders, operators, and entrepreneurs. People with experience in industries that I could even dream of. Okay. Based off of what I've seen, in their own words, the AI runs my whole business narrative is almost always an exaggeration. It doesn't mean that these people aren't getting value from AI. Many of them are getting enormous value from it. But when you look beneath the surface, usually you find people supervising workflows, reviewing outputs, correcting problems, updating instructions and skills, stops every 2 weeks, and handling everything that the system couldn't anticipate. That's not hands off. Maybe faster, maybe more efficient, but it's not hands off. So if somebody says that AI runs their entire business, man, I don't want to see a polished dashboard. Show me the workflow. Show me the process. Show me that initial trigger that kicks everything off. And also show me the human decisions. Show me what happens when the system's wrong. AI does not transform a bad process into a good one. Our entire businesses are run on multiple processes. All of us have bad processes, inefficient processes. But AI doesn't transform it into a good process. It simply gives you the ability to run that process faster, more consistently at a larger scale. And here's the thing, you can accelerate your path to crash into an iceberg if you want, but you're still going to crash into that iceberg. A bad process is leading you in the bad direction. Information that's being kind of collected is incomplete. The qualification rules in a bad process are built on bad assumptions or incomplete information. The AI will follow those same rules using the same incomplete information. So, congratulations, right? You can now reject good customers faster. And that's not what you wanted. You haven't improved that process. You've scaled a mistake. The same thing can happen with customer service or hiring or financial decisions, right? Content moderation, sales follow up, really anything else. The idea that humans are no longer necessary is just wrong. So here are the 5 questions to ask before automating. Number 1, are the inputs complete, accurate, and reliable? AI can only work with the information it receives or the information it can access. Okay, so is that information reliable? Number 2, is the underlying process already effective? Is it effective and now you're looking for efficiency? Okay, if you wouldn't trust a person to follow the process exactly as it's written, don't ask AI to follow 1,000 times faster. Okay, number 3, what should a correct output actually look like? Right? We say internally, what does done look like or what does success look like? If you can't define success, you can't reliably determine whether the system actually produced it. 4th, what happens when the situation falls outside of the rules? Call this exception handling, right? Every real business has exceptions. You need to know where the automation stops and human judgment begins. Makes sense, right? 5th, which human remains accountable for the result? It's a tough one. Not who built the prompt, not who purchased the software or whose credit card gets billed every single month. Who owns the outcome when the system is wrong? Now, if you can't answer these 5 questions, you're probably not ready to automate that process just yet.